I'm live. I'm so sorry. I am 11 minutes late. That is all on me. I've been like a chicken with its head cut off this morning. I got back from having coffee with a good friend. And anyway, I was getting ready because this call, I'm so excited. We are diving in to some of my favorite course creation hacks and tips and just things that I wish I knew that I feel like nobody talked about when I first got started. And so if you have course tips, if you are course questions, if you have YouTube questions, please share. I know I didn't really promote this live, so hopefully we have some people kind of joining in as I go. But let me know in the chat where you are coming from, if you can hear me okay, and whatever questions you have. But let's dive right into things. Okay. So let's first start. Let me screen share with you here. Dun, 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 dun. Ta-da! Okay, can you see this? Okay. So we're going to be talking about course creation secrets. I wish that somebody would have told me when I got started. Let's first start off with, boop, here we go. The most common mistakes that I see almost all new course creators make. So if you are thinking about, hey, like I really want to build out a course, I think everybody has incredible knowledge that they can package and sell to be able to make money, share your passions, share your gifts and talents and knowledge with the world in a way where you're like, wow, I am in this butterfly effect of helping other people, but also I'm building income. Woo woo, right? I think a lot of times we think that we can't make money off of the things that we really enjoy, but oftentimes those are the things that we're the best at making money at, right? It doesn't have to be really hard or feel like work in order for it to be work, right? Can I get an amen? Okay. So mistake number one is I'm not enough. Does anybody, do you know what this show that I'm thinking of right here, who's in this GIF? What's his name again? Oh God, Development. George Michael. Anyway, George Michael, sad walk. Who here, let me know if you feel this way, where you're like, gosh, I just feel like this would be in your course, in your business. I'm just not enough. I'm not qualified enough. I'm not experienced enough. I'm not far enough ahead. This is something that we've talked about in my 0 to 10K course roadmap. So if you have joined in on that, then you've heard me talk about this. The I'm not enough is going to keep so many people in our industry from ever starting at all. It keeps us from being like, gosh, I'll do that when I get that qualification. Guess what? You're qualified right now if you're just 10 steps ahead of somebody. You don't need to be a million steps ahead like we think. So the truth of the matter is that you do not need to have it all together, okay? You just have to be, like I was saying, 10 steps ahead of your ideal person, of your ideal customer and viewer. And the thing is, people, what's up, Zan? The thing is that I think we have to be so many steps ahead, and we just don't. What a relief, because the people that are way ahead of us are often almost, we feel like, oh, you just don't get where I'm coming from. But the people that have just gone through the transformation that we want, they're a lot more easy to learn from because they know what's happening right now. They haven't grown so big where maybe they're not as relatable. So again, don't need to be 10 steps ahead. Stop being so hard on yourself. Let's instead be our biggest cheerleader and not our biggest critic, right? Okay. Let's move on. It's very hard for me to get these slides to move. I'm sorry. So, think. Okay. Mistake number 2 is I don't know if I'm doing it right. So this is from all my perfectionists out there. You overthink every step and you stay stuck at the starting line. I can say with confidence, I'm not a perfectionist, but my husband, he got those genes. So we complete each other because we're opposites. But I know for a lot of my clients, they struggle with perfection. Like they think everything needs to be perfect in order for me to even start. You have to change your mindset because guess what? There's no such thing as perfect. And especially when it comes to course creation, especially when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to anything business related, guess what? Usually we're failing upwards. It starts with an idea and then we put it out there and then we get feedback and then it gets better and better and better. But if we never put it out there, even when it's a little bit messy, guess what? It's not going to happen, and then it's not going to improve. So the next mistake. Oh, okay, we already talked about these things. The truth is that helpful is better than fancy, okay? Real is better than polished, and done is better than perfect, all right? Say it with me. Done is better than perfect. Yes. Amen. Okay. Moving on. Mistake number 3 is that I'm doing everything. You are in overload phase. You're like Lucy trying to like eat all of the chocolates that are coming at you, but also you feel like you want to do all the things. If you are a multi-passionate entrepreneur, then I'm talking to you, where you're like, okay, well, I'm going to have an Etsy shop, and I'm going to have a one-on-one coaching program. And on top of that, I'm going to start this podcast for women who are struggling with blank and blank and blank. And we add all these things in. And then guess what? We do everything poorly. You've got to pick the one thing that you're going to start with and master it before moving on. That comes with social media too, okay? So the truth is you don't need to do all the things because you're going to do them poorly. You're going to just try and do one thing and master it. And that's really what I did with YouTube too. I said, okay, I'm going to start off with YouTube, and then I'll move into Instagram. So my YouTube had probably around 10,000 subscribers, and my Instagram had still like maybe kind of hovering around 1,000. And once I felt like I understood YouTube to a T and I'd really built out that business, then I moved in to hiring an Instagram coach. And it was Instagram and TikTok, though my TikTok is still, I don't put any time into it because, again, I just try and stay in my lane. Now I don't even post at all in Instagram. I digress. But we hone in and master one thing. So even if you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur, a big mistake is trying to do too many things. You need to just pick. I'm going to do one course, and I'm going to scale it on one platform, and that's it. And platform, I mean social media platform. Usually when we're building a course, we need to be on social media in some way, right? Okay. So this is my action plan for you. If you're committed to your course, you need to time block it in. Make it a priority. If you don't make it a priority in your life, guess who will? Exactly. Nobody, right? You have to make it a priority first, and then other people will respect your time. Okay. Continue. If this is helpful for you, like give me like an emoji or something. Okay. Just like let me know that you're here. Okay. By the way, this is all coming from, again, just what we went through is some of the 0 to 10K course roadmap. And if you don't know, is it today and then tomorrow is the last day of Kajabi's $399 deal, where I'm actually doing a live training where tomorrow we have our last live call where I'm going into and deep diving into how to create a course, which I'll talk about here in a second, but where you'll get access to my course roadmap. This puppy is so long. You can see here it's 33 pages of just like super in-depth, helpful, how to build out a course, all the things you need to know. So make sure that you don't miss out on that, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving into bidding. All right. A little bit about me, my journey in course creation. I started off as an ESL teacher. You may have been with me in those days of ESL teaching. Look, this is me with the panda puppet. So cute, okay? Then from there, I got into affiliate marketing. I started sharing about my ESL, English as a Second Language, journey on YouTube. And then from there, other teachers were like, Danny, how have you built out a really successful affiliate business on YouTube with these companies? So other teachers wanted to learn what I was doing. So I started to coach one-on-one. And then from there, I built out my course. So all that to say, I would have never expected that I would be teaching YouTube right now, but my journey kind of led me into all these things and building out and profiting off of the knowledge that I have. And that's what a course can do for you as well. And it's allowed me to have this life of freedom where I'm up in the morning, I'm going to get coffee with a friend. My mom was over here earlier this morning. Like the freedom and flexibility that building up your own business is absolutely unreal. And I would wish it for everyone who can. So I want to talk about now some of the things that I wish people would have told me sooner, things I wish I would have known about a course. And this is something, again, that I really hadn't deep dived into until we were talking about it with some of the students in the 0 to 10K course roadmap. And that's the difference between full and mini transformations. And I think this is something we really struggle with as new course creators. Who here wants to give away all of the good info? Me. I usually like overshare and overtell because like I appreciate that. I hate when I show up to things I feel like, oh, like I could have Googled that. You know? No, with ChatGPT nowadays, it's like you need to show up and like give the good stuff, right? But here's the thing, something that can be more helpful is to give a mini transformation rather than the full transformation. So it's still gonna be really in-depth and helpful, but you're helping with somebody with something more specific. So, okay, here we go. Let's say like you have the 100K Instagram personal brand blueprint, all right? And this sells like a total strategy of how to build out a personal brand on Instagram, how to build it up and how to sell. That's like a lot of steps, right? Building a personal brand on Instagram also involves like teaching someone how to even have a personal brand, right? And so you are teaching like a full system. You're teaching what is a personal brand? What are the different types of personal brands? Who are you? Who's your ideal client? How do you reach them? Your aesthetic. How do you post? How do you do reels? How do you get on stories? You're teaching all of the things, right? It is much more complex. But a mini transformation, it sells a specific part of something that people want. It's a specific outcome that is much easier to get to because, again, it's more specific. Okay, so for example, that could be the 100K Instagram story strategy. So I'm not teaching the whole strategy of building out a personal brand. I'm just teaching you how to sell on stories. I literally bought a course like this once because I was struggling with selling on my Instagram stories, my course, and I just didn't want to have to think about it. I'm like, can someone just like give me a template and tell me what to say and show up so that I can have some sort of like a prompt each day? That's exactly what I paid for. That's the pain point I was having. And someone had a course just like that. It was super helpful. I paid like $300 and it was exactly what I needed. And it set me up then to want to buy more things from her within that realm of Instagram and selling. So I just think a lot of times we think we need to build out like a full course to teach all of the things, but actually what could be smarter is building out a mini transformation, okay? Building out something that is much more simple. So like for me, instead, I actually just created the golden blueprint template where I teach people how to create like really, really high level scripts that convert to subscribers and to customers. It's so good. It's not out yet, but I'm currently working on filming it, and it's going to be more of a mini offer. Now, if I had known about mini transformations in the beginning, I probably would have started with something like this script, and then I would have added to it. So like people would have had the script and then would have said, okay, that's done. Now I can create the next offer, which is like how to film, actually have a course that's like that, the Camera Confidence Bootcamp. So I would teach people how to film, and I could offer that, and I could bundle them together. And then eventually I'd have all of the things for a YouTube course, and then I could just put them all together if I wanted. But if I just started off with this script, like the golden script template guide, that would be a way for me to easily be like, in like 48 hours, I could have this mini course out that now I'm already getting people to be able to buy an offer. And then I have a warm audience that I can upsell to my higher ticket things. So just something to be thinking about that I feel like nobody told me about when I first got started. So hopefully that's helpful for you, because I wish somebody would have told me that. Okay, now moving on to the next golden nugget. Where is my screen? Boop, okay. Number 2 thing that I wish I would have known about course creation is the power of packaging. Now, I don't know why people package things, you'll realize, very poorly. But if you learn this thing right now, I promise you, this is not only going to help you with courses, it's going to help you with your whole business in general. You always need to be thinking about the transformation. Did you hear me just in our last tip where I said mini transformation versus big transformation? What's the word I'm using there? Transformation. Okay. Why? Because people want to know what's the outcome that they're going to get from your course. Like, what are they going to get out of it, right? So you need transformation-focused titles. Whenever you're creating anything, think of like, what are people going to get out of this that I can convey in the name, okay? You need results-oriented language. and compelling promises. So let me give you like an example of this. So think, for example, I could have the 0 to 10K course roadmap, or I could have the 3 steps to learning Kajabi. Which one is like a little juicier? Would you click on? Sorry, I had verses twice. Which one would you click on? The 0 to 10K course roadmap or the 3 steps to learn Kajabi? Personally, I would pick the 0 to 10K course roadmap because, again, it's that transformation it's promising me. Like, oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to hit that 10K. It's a good promise outcome of something that my ideal customer wants. So I actually put out a YouTube video today, and I have a prompt in that video. It says 10 things I wish I knew before I built a course. And in it, I've got an AI prompt that can help you come up with really strong titles, which I would 10 out of 10 recommend, because AI is only as strong as the prompts you give it. So this is a good one of how to like help you create better titles, because the titles of your course really matter on if they sell or not. Now, the next thing that I wish I knew. Yes, Eureka. Thanks for being in the comments. Woo. Okay. The next thing I wish I knew is choosing the right vehicle when it came to my course. So really, like, there's 3 options that we have nowadays, right? We've got our regular course that would just be sold on Evergreen. We have communities, and we have memberships. So our course, okay, we all know, I know you know what a course is, right? But a community is really where you have this place, this hub where your course members can hang out, or your membership members can hang out, they can talk, they can share wins, they can share struggles, they can ask questions. It's a place where you're really fostering engagement. That's why school is so popular right now. If you've heard of school, I don't understand why it's popular. But I do, because people love communities. And Kajabi has an incredible community feature, and they actually just totally revamped it. So that's something you're wanting to build. I have a full video. If you just search up Danny J community, I'll show you what my community looks like, and also how I linked my course to my community. Now, pro tip here, people really only expect a community if it's like a higher ticket. So either they're going to pay for a membership, where the membership is usually like a community in itself. Okay, so they're going to pay a monthly fee to be in this community, and then you're going to drop new content every month or every couple of weeks or whatever. Usually you're going to get on like a live call with people once or twice a month and share tips in your industry. These are amazing ways to have reoccurring revenue coming into your business, because your members are paying on a monthly basis. So you're not like launching all the time. It's just like doors are always open. People can join, people can leave when they want. I will say communities for me are really draining. They give me anxiety. It's like I have like 13,000 emails right now on my inbox account. I'm a one-man show. So I try and get back within like 48 hours people's emails, but it can sometimes be hard. Anyway, so you add a community on top of that, and I'm like squirrel brain to a T. So I always hire someone to help me with my community when it's open. So for me, I have a higher ticket course. So usually now with higher ticket courses, people are going to expect a community. Not always, but a lot of times. And so I'll say, okay, hey, you can have my community for 5 months. That's included with the cost of the course. That way I'm not tied to my community. So let's say I end up stopping and I stop selling my course, right? I could say, okay, well, now I know I only have to have this community running for 5 months, and then I can close the doors. Or if I know I'm going to keep running my course, well, then people can pay a monthly subscription to stay in that community, keep getting my support, and I'll continue to go live twice a month. So that's kind of how I solve the problem, and that's how I'm moving forward with my YouTube course, Magnetic Creator Academy, is that you get 5 months, and it also holds people accountable. Because I don't know about you, but how many times have you joined a course where they offered a community, but you could show up at any time, and so you just like don't show up? I've done that. So if you're like, hey, you only get this community for 5 months for free included, people are going to be much more likely and have that like spring in their step to actually show up, because it's limited time access. And then it's great for you. You can have that upsell, like, hey, keep paying for this membership if you want to stay in it. So you want to make sure it's high value if you want to keep people paying. But that I found is just uber helpful. Okay. The next thing is that it's very important that you just focus on results over perfection. So what's been so freeing for me is realizing that people don't really care what your course looks like. They just care that it's helpful, that it gets them the outcome that they want. So you don't need beautiful slides and the top, like, best camera. You just need to get people results. I was telling students in the 0 to 10K course roadmap, I paid $5,000 for a course and I got on the inside and it was like the ugliest thing I'd ever seen. It was really ugly. Okay. I felt like this course creator did like the bare minimum, but the course had crazy good reviews because it got people insane results. So really, the most important thing is like, are you getting people results? Are you really investing in your clients? That's the big deal. It's not, is it super aesthetically beautiful? And if it is really ugly, then you can always hire someone like on Fiverr or something to spruce it up a little, who knows a bit about brand design. Okay. Which is always just, I love outsourcing things like that to Fiverr if you need the help. Okay. Ba-doop. So, course creation journey, it begins now. And we're going to think about starting small, focusing just on the results. You're going to share it confidently and scale strategically. Ooh. Now, I want to remind you that we have one last call. If you are wanting to deep dive into how to create a profitable course in 2025, I have a 33-page guide, takes you through and recordings of me doing a training for the 0 to 10K live roadmap, where we go through a profitable idea course playbook. Okay, where we talk about how do you name a course, how do you figure out what people are actually wanting to pay for. Then module 2, we talk about bringing your course to life. How do you outline it? How do you reverse engineer? How do you put it together? How do you film it, upload it, all those things? And then 3, how do you pre-sell your course? So selling it before it even goes live. What are all the steps that go into that? And then module 4 is launching and your game plan. And then this Friday, tomorrow, if you sign up for Kajabi's 3 for $99 deal and you get into my live workshop series that this guidebook goes on to, we are going to be diving just a little bit further into all of the course creation questions and kind of reviewing everything we've gone into so far of all of these 4 modules. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to join us. I will add a link to it in the video below, but if you just go to heydannyj.com/Kajabi, you'll find it. I'm sorry, I'm so close to the camera right now, but I'm going to put it in the chat box. It's boop, 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 which I should have done earlier. heydannyj.com/Kajabi. Okay, so if you head to that link, you will be able to get into the 0 to 10K live course roadmap, and I will say 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's been super helpful for our students that have gone in it so far, and I'm excited to see you in it. We'll be doing a live call, and that live call will all be in Kajabi. That's where I built out my whole business. So again, I'm so sorry that I was late to this call, but it's been so fun to go live. I haven't gone live since last month, and I'm thinking of bringing back the YouTube channel audits. And we were supposed to do one last month, so we'll probably add one in for June, doing a channel audit. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure that you stay tuned for that. And I hope to see you in the 0 to 10K course roadmap live call tomorrow. The link to join is down below. But best wishes on course creation. You have got this. I've got so many tutorials on YouTube of how to do it. And honestly, like, the biggest thing in anything is just starting. I remember the first time that I started my first business ever. My first business ever was a travel company in Vietnam, where we took women on all planned tours through Vietnam. We started off in the south of Vietnam, and then we went all the way up to Hanoi. And it was like, I don't know why my friend and I thought we ever were qualified to do such a thing, but we did it. And I remember thinking, gosh, it's something I really want to do, but it scared the living daylights out of me. Like, I would think about it and my palms, they would get sweaty. And I would say, like, I would try to remove it from my mind. Be like, that's a fun idea, but it's just not for me. Like, and I would find any excuse to not think about it and say, yeah, it's actually a bad idea, even though I knew deep to my core that I really wanted to do it. And I think that can be a lot of anything, like when it comes to a course or starting on YouTube. We think of all of the reasons why we shouldn't do it and we talk ourselves out of it. And a lot of times our big dreams, we forget we even had them because we never even speak them into existence because we let fear win. But here's the thing. God did not give you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. Ooh, so that's what I tell myself. I'm like, the Lord has given me a spirit of power, love, and self-control. And that is what I lead with instead of fear now. But anyway, in starting that first business, the first thing that I ever did was I had to decide that I was going to do it. I remember sitting on the counter of my parents' kitchen. I'm sorry, I'll sit here. Sitting on the counter of my parents' kitchen, and my dad and I were having this conversation about this travel company that I kind of wanted to start. And I was like, yeah, but like, what if somebody like falls off a cliff when we're hiking and dies? Like, how can I be in charge of people? How can I build out this business? And I know for me, I was very blessed, and not everyone has this. But my dad looked at me and he's like, well, like, if you fail, you can just come home. And I was like, oh, if I fail, even if I fail, like I could just come home. Like at least I did it. And I think that's a great mentality. Like, even if you fail, guess what? Like you can always go back into the thing that you're doing before, or there's safety nets that you can put into place to make it where it's so worth at least trying. And so I realized in that moment, like, okay, I can do this. I'm just going to say yes. And then once I said yes, everything else was figure outable, right? I was able to, we bought travel health insurance. It's just so in case someone did fall off a cliff, we were going to be okay. Nobody fell off a cliff. Actually, no one was ever injured on our tours. But that was the hardest part, was deciding that I was going to do it. And then from there, now building out that business ended up falling through. We planned some tours, and we ended up dissolving it. I ended up getting into, I've done physical products, and I've failed at that. I've had different businesses that have done really well and ones that haven't done as well, but it all led me to the next thing. But it all started with me saying that first really scary yes on the kitchen counter in my parents' house. And I'll never forget, like, that was a pivotal moment for me, realizing, okay, if I can do that, I can do anything else, knowing that like most people are too afraid of failure, but now it's like we see it and we can embrace it and know that, again, usually each failure leads us into the next thing. We fail our way upwards. And that's been very beneficial and helpful for me because I failed a lot, but it's all led me into the next thing. And all that to say, whatever that is for you right now, maybe there's something that makes your hands a little bit clammy. I don't know if I'm speaking to somebody right now or like, oh my gosh, that's me. Let me just tell you, the yes part is the hardest. You can do this. You have got this, okay? But the hardest part is just deciding that you're going to do it and taking that leap. And then having people in your corner that can support you, and knowing that there's going to be some people that don't, and you have to be okay with that. And knowing, like, I had a friend that I remember, okay, I said, I'm going to start this business. And I had like, thank you, Jesus. I had my dad in my corner because he was like, yeah, just like go for it. I had one person that was like gung ho in my life. And my mom, not so much. Like, up until my business was making like good money, she was like, maybe you just need to get like a real job with a better health insurance plan that doesn't have the word catastrophic in it, right? But anyway, I had a friend who, when I told him that I was starting this travel business with my other best friend, he was like, oh, well, you know, Danny, like, it's really hard to start a business. And I was like, what? That's good. That's your reaction to me? Is just that there was no support there. There was only apprehension. And then when I actually did it and I was successful, I remember he called me up and he was like, gosh, like, what have you done? How did you do that? He was super interested in it, but definitely wasn't supportive in the beginning. And I think you'll experience a lot when building it out. So just know, you just have to say yes. And you've got to find at least like one person in your corner that can be there for you and root you on and say, hey, like, I love that idea. How would you even think bigger about it? And if you don't have anybody in your life right now that's like that, then get involved in a community. You get involved in a Facebook group. Come to the 0 to 10K live roadmap tomorrow on this coaching call and connect with some of the people on there. I know there's multiple people in there, a lot of people in there that just like, they're super, super incredible entrepreneurs that are very, very positive and cheerleaders. And so anyway, I hope this was helpful for you. I can't wait to hopefully see you in the call tomorrow. Let me know in the comments if you have any other course questions, and I will talk to you soon. See you later. All right. Have a good day. Bye.